Sup everyone, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Two British Nerds, hosted by myself, the DJ Sava. Check me out on the Instagram at Two British Nerds, also the Twitter, YouTube, and check me out on the iTunes, on your iTunes store, the podcasting applications they have on the Apple Store, and obviously on iTunes. All at Two British Nerds with a Z at the end. Please check out my Instagram. It's been going very, very well. Been getting a lot of love, a lot of likes from people. And look, it's pretty, I'm loving it. I'm loving how my Instagram feed is growing. I mean, really loving how I'm meeting so many nice, nerdy, geeky people that have so much cool stuff to show. So if you want to hit me up, join me, mention me on Instagram at Two British Nerds. And if you want also, please, when you mention me or tag or add me, just hashtag the Two British Nerds. So I know, obviously, you've listened to this podcast and you know who I am. If not, just give me a follow and say hi, because I like to socialize a lot on social media, especially Twitter, which is my Twitter is at Two British Nerds, but my personal Twitter is at SavaDJ, at CAVADJ. So hit me up on that as well, and I'll connect with you guys. All the time. I spend so much time on social media. Even when I'm at work, I shouldn't be. I'm just skiving, trying to find out the latest tweet of what Marvel and DC and Image are doing and stuff. But yeah, that's me, guys. So let's get cranked up onto this this week's podcast. Starting off with some Funko Pop news. As you all know, I do collect the Funko Pop bobbleheads. I love them. I don't have everything because I can't afford them, but I mostly get the Marvel stuff and a few of the stuff that I really love, and the limited stuff. So they just launched today. Oh, sorry, they launched online that they are going to be launching the Saved by the Bell pops. I can't wait to get them. They are available on pre-order on entertainmentplanet.com. They all be out in November. So if you're a fan of the show like I was, you'd have to get them. So you're gonna get Zach Morris, Kelly Kapowski, AC Slater, Jesse Spano, Lisa Turtle, and Samuel Screech Powers. So that's the whole gang there. So I can't wait to get them because I love the show. I've got like the first season 1 on DVD. I just love the show, man. It's just funny, man. It's just a very, very funny show. Talking about also news. This news just popped off maybe just about half an hour ago. So we all know that Marvel are still releasing new covers for their hip hop variants and so forth. So the hip hop variants, I believe there will now be 52 variants, which will start coming out as soon as Secret Wars is finished. I believe that ends, I think, the middle of October, because I think they've delayed it or added another extra issue. So I believe it's initially it was 8 issues. Now it might be 9 or more. So after Secret Wars is done, they're moving 8 months into the future. And that's when all the number ones get released, and Marvel are doing a hip-hop variant and a cosplay variant for all the number ones. So watch out for the hip-hop variants. They look pretty cool. So going back to the hip-hop variants, one of my favorite artists, Afua Richardson, who's actually the current artist on Images, on a book from Image Comics called The Genius, is basically, she has done a cover, a hip hop variant for Marvel for X-Men 92. Pretty cool comic book. X-Men 92 initially is actually still part of the Secret Wars event, so it should be about 5 issues. It's a mini series, but they just announced yesterday that basically they will basically be moving and giving X-Men 92 an ongoing series. So if you're an ongoing X-Men fan from the 90s, because it's based on the cartoon, this book is totally for you. I'm collecting the mini run, and I'll be getting the new one when it hits, I believe, in the beginning of next year, which is pretty cool. So that's X-Men 92. So yeah, she's done a very, very beautiful cover for X-Men 92, and it says X-Men 92 till infinity, and it's a cool cover. It has Gambit, it has Storm, Jubilee, and Wolverine. What I like about this cover is, and sorry about the artwork is, it's so beautiful. It's, Storm looks so nice and black and beautiful, man. She's got like the blue, the blue lipstick, which represents her being cool, but also represents her, you know, she's controlling that nice, cool water element, because Storm, controls the four elementals: fire, earth, wind, and water, and it's pretty cool. Jubilee looks nice, cool, and sexy with her shades up as usual, on her blowing bubblegum. And Wolverine looks mean as ever, and Gambit looks nice and cool, man. Yeah, Remy, the Cajun. So that's X-Men 92. Variant cover again by Afua Richardson, and that'll be out next. Next year, hopefully. Also, another Marvel announcement, comic book wise, is Bobby Moore's Mockingbird from Agents of Shield. We'll be literally getting our own solo book as well. There hasn't been any information about the creative team that are on there or when the release date will be, but she is actually getting her first ever solo book. Be pretty cool. She's actually a nice character. She's very deadly, but she's very sweet and considerate at the same time. And what I like about her is it's her mouth. She's just so cocky and sarcastic. Reminds me of me. Yeah, so she's a pretty cool character. And yeah, man. Yes. Speaking of Agents of Shield, the premiere for episode 1 is just under a week away. So get ready, get pumped up. I already saw what Marvel officially launched. They launched the first 4 minutes of episode 1. Pretty cool. Nice to see Daisy Johnson, Max, and nice to see what Coulson in there as well. Really want to know what Coulson is. Really want to know what's happened to Coulson's arm. Sorry, his hand. Is it bionic? What does he have? Does he have a vibranium hand now? What's it made out of? What's happened to Gemma? What's happened to Fitzsimmons, man? She disappeared in the last episode. So, how's that left Fitz? And his Mockingbird, is she gonna leave? Is she gonna stay? And is Agent May, Melinda May, she in the last episode she goes with her ex-husband. What's gonna happen? Does she want to come back to Shield? So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. But yes, people, that's Agents of Shield coming up within a week away. So that's pretty much some just some straight up Marvel news I just got recently. But yeah, I am definitely gonna be getting the X-Men 92 variant from Afua Richardson, because I love it, man. I love it. And if you people haven't been haven't read what do you call it, Genius, which is distributed by Image Comics, check it out. The volume 1 came out a while ago, pardon me, and it's a very, very good, intense. It really does go into what's happening with the police brutality, like in the States, between cops and people of color, and it's really nice. It's like history in the making of where they're putting all the elements of what's happening in real life into comic book form, and it's deep, it's intense, it's dramatic, and it's really good. So check out Genius Volume 1, which is available to cop now in all comic book stores, Forbidden Planet, Amazon. Check it out, guys. It's a really, really good book. I'm recommending it to you because it's worth the read. So yeah, right. Let's go back to some more comic book news. So, some Power Rangers news. It says in June, Boom Studios announced that they had partnered up with Sabin Brands to publish a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book series, and today Boom has released a new White Ranger cover and expected the release date for the series. So I believe the book will come out around January, but what they've done is they've actually, for issue 1, they've done all 6, they've done all the covers for each of the Power Rangers, so pretty cool. I was hoping they were going to do a Green Ranger, but they're not going to. But you never know, there might be like a limited edition variant floating around somewhere for issue 1 that they will just bring out. So if you're a Power Rangers fan like I am, from years ago when the show first came out, this book will be for you. I'm depending if the book doesn't do well or not, I'm still gonna get all the covers for issue 1 because it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's retro, it's old school. I'm kind of happy that they're basically bringing that book out. Also, they are also releasing. Sorry, they are. I believe it's the end of the year or the beginning of January. They'll start filming the Power Rangers reboot movie, which is getting rebooted like everything else seems to be getting rebooted. So stay with me in the long run for more news regarding the Power Rangers movie and basically anything else that is just has to be spoken about. Okay, so comic book news. One of the biggest comic book news that came out basically just 2 days ago was literally the Black Panther. So we all knew that a few months ago that Marvel announced they did say they were going to basically give the Black Panther an ongoing book. He's only literally had one ongoing book, and it didn't really do too well, so they scrapped it like just years ago. And I was really, I really wanted to buy the graphic novel because I was wanting to know the origins of the Black Panther, which I do in a sense. It's just that I wanted, the origin, the origin stories in Marvel's Masterworks Volume 1, the Black Panther. But it's out of print. It's been out of print for years. The thing of Marvel is they hardly ever do any reprints of their Masterworks, which makes them even more valuable. So I know that the Black Panther Masterworks Volume 1 is going for, when I checked on eBay, for £100. When I checked on Amazon, it was like £150, £200. So I'm hoping that by the beginning of next year, or summertime, just before Civil War comes out, I guess, and or before the Black Panther book comes out, which is I believe in spring, that they will reprint Volume 1 so I can buy it and just geek out over it because I do love him as a character. I'm one of the smartest Marvel characters there is. So I'm gonna just read just a few things from you guys. I'm gonna read this statement basically from comicbookmovie.com regarding the Black Panther. It says Marvel Comics has been promising more diversity in its lineup, both in characters and creators, and looks to deliver today with a long stewing announcement. Tanishi Coates, an African American writer and journalist for the Atlantic and a well-regarded voice on African American political and social issues, is writing the Black Panther. It says the new Marvel book launches as part of Marvel Comics all new or different initiative with new first issues across the entire line and books beginning for 5 or 6 months starting in October of 2015. So the announcement came from the New York Times after a couple of months of diversity, controversy at the publisher. So basically what it was, a lot of Marvel getting a lot of grief because they didn't have having basically any writers of color that were writing the comic book. So a lot of it kicked off basically from I also kicked off from Marvel's hip hop variants, of where a lot of writers, fans were saying, you're getting all these variant, you guys getting all these artists to draw, Marvel these hip hop variants, right? But they're all white. There isn't any people of color. And obviously, they were saying hip hop is, it's black culture. So they were kind of pissed basically that there was no people of color literally in the Marvel scene. So it looks like with this Black Panther book that and with Afua Richardson, who is a black woman doing the hip hop variant for X-Men 92, looks like they are slowly starting to have more diversity in the scene, which is good because it makes everybody able to relate to the industry and to the characters and so forth. So it says, for Coates, a self-proclaimed Marvel Comics superfan, this came about thanks to him meeting Marvel editor Sana Ahmet in his journalism role. It says, Amanta helped create the current Miss Marvel, a teenage Muslim girl named Kamala Khan, and pushes forward the diversity in comics conversation through her work, plus interviews in national publications, and even an appearance on Comedy Central's the Nightly Show. Just, thanks to the conversation and Coates pair of books about the African American everyday life and struggle, he met with Marvel Comics on the creative side to talk about working on Black Panther's relaunch. He says he expects his Marvel work to be similar to his other writing, which sounds really cool because from the way I've heard him speak on Twitter and the answer that he gave me on Twitter, he seems like he's really on. He knows what he's saying and doing. He says, I don't experience the stuff I write about as weight. Coates told the Times, I feel a strong need to express something. The writing usually lifts the weight. His love for Marvel Comics included finding characters like Monica Rambeau, Storm, and James Rhodes in the 1980s. Those characters were obviously black, but treated like any other member of their teams. The Avengers and X-Men. It meant something to see people who looked like me in the comic books. Of his story, he hasn't said much yet, aside from wanting to make a great comic and trying to please 12-year-old me. Coates will be joined by an as yet unnamed artist, according to Marvel Comics, for a year-long story plan titled "A Nation Under Our Feet." Black Panther will be in Wakanda for the story, dealing with an uprising instigated by a new terrorist group called the People. Marvel in charge Axel Alonso said the story will reposition the Black Panther in the minds of the readers. It really moves him forward. Brian Steph-Reyes joins the team as cover artist, having proved both the main cover and the hip-hop variant for the first issue based on Jay-Z's The Black Album. After announcing hip-hop variants for all of the all-new, all-different Marvel launches based on top rap and R&B albums from throughout the three decades, some bloggers and fans accused Marvel of appropriation of black culture without representation by creators. These variants, however, have been almost universally well received by the actual hip-hop community, with the news reaching hip-hop sites and publications that normally don't cover comic books and rappers celebrating their homage covers and even asking Marvel if theirs will be picked. Still, the number of writers from other than a white male category are vastly dwarfed by those within. With a character like the Black Panther, whose roots are firmly planted in not just African heritage, but in the continent itself, depending on the storyline, he is the fictional African nation Wakanda's ruler of the greatest warrior. Fans have been hoping and demanding that a writer of African descent would handle the character. Marvel Comics editor Chris Robinson, also African American, tried his best to get in front of that sort of talk. Of course, tweeting ahead of the announcement. Huge announcement coming that will look like a reaction, but has literally been in the works for months and months and months. Says Marvel's new lineup includes a relaunch of Miss Marvel, plus a new Korean American Totally Awesome Hulk by Totally Awesome Hulk by an all Korean American creative team. Red Wolf featuring a Native American superhero. Sam Wilson retaining the role of Captain America, and more. So that kind of sums it up, guys, about in the sense of what the Black Panther is going to be about in a way. But obviously there'll be more information handed out towards the months. But I'm just actually very excited and geeked out and happy that the Black Panther is coming back. I mean, we know this because it had to be done because they introduced him into Civil War, and he's getting his own solo movie. The Black Panther. But what's really nice is, you have a black African man, a black man of color that's actually writing the Black Panther, which gives a lot of respect to a lot of the people in the community, people of color, blacks in general, because they get to see themselves in the comic book, which is pretty cool, just as you have Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, who I believe is half black, half Latino. Sam Wilson, who took over Captain America's role, which is pretty cool. So it's nice to see that we're getting more diversity from Marvel than previously. So I'll be definitely picking this book up because it's the Black Panther, man. You have to you have to get him. You have to pick it up, and it'll be a good book to read. I can feel it. There we go. Where are we? Right. So just going back to the Power Rangers again, because I've got to say this. So the yeah, the 5 comic book covers will with this is Blue Ranger. So the Blue Ranger, the blue, the pink, the yellow, the black, and red Ranger will be the covers that will be releasing for those variants. Oh, and it says according to the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Rangers loyal fan base it says sorry, blah blah blah. It says you can expect the debut issue of issue 0 in January, and it will include a short story written by Margaret Scott, who's written Transformers, Witchblade. So January, watch out for those covers of the Power Rangers to hit. I reckon they'll do pretty well, man. Pretty well. So here we go again, guys. I'm gonna give you some more news from. Look, I've lost my page. I'll give you some movie news, some TV news. So as we all know, Hugh Jackman is leaving Wolverine, and there's been a lot of speculation and talk on what the last movie is about, what he's gonna do, how he's gonna basically end. Is he, I was hoping they would do an Old Man Logan movie. That'd be sick. That'd be so cool. Old Man Logan would be amazing. But some news came out regarding that there'll be a connection between him and Professor Xavier. The father-son relationship is one of the things that came out. So this is what comicbook.com had to say. It says, while Word is Sir Patrick Stewart won't be appearing in X-Men Age of Apocalypse, his role in this untitled Wolverine sequel will be more significant than previously expected, with the film exploring the father-son dynamic between Professor X and Wolverine. So here you go. It says, I'll be really honest with you, the actual script in its full form we're up to about page 60, Jackman told the Collider. During the Pan junket, obviously there's treatment, so it's not fully done yet. While we're not fully there, since Patrick does figure in it that's for sure. I think it's really important. It's a really important relationship, but I think it's a really important relationship. But I want to see signs of that quasi father-son sort of relationship that has not been seen before, and signs of particularly Professor X that have not been seen before. So we have some really cool ideas. He added that the plan is to start shooting next year. So presumably the 60 pages will be doubling up or so sometime soon. It says Jackman will next be seen in a still United Wolverine solo film, expected to be his last. Most of the buzz around the film so far indicates that it will be based on the Old Man Logan stories from the comics. Hugh Jackman will pop his claws one last time when the sequel hits theaters on March the 3rd, 2017. Also, it's going to be interesting, guys, to see what happens in this movie. If they go for Old Man Logan, I'll be like, cool. It'll be a good movie. I'm not really a fan of the Wolverine movies. Don't really do it for me. I'm looking forward to Deadpool though. You can't get Deadpool wrong. He's a nutty character. But that's Wolverine, man. Right, some other news, movie news. Well, actually, movie news. That's a bit of a banter, I guess. So Michael Rooker, who plays Ronan. No, not Ronan. Michael Rooker, who plays Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, said he wants director James Gunn to do a Yondu spin-off. What do you think, guys? Do you think Yondu deserves his own movie as a spin-off? You never know. It could be a Netflix. Could go to Netflix. You never know, guys. Also, some more TV news. The A-Team is getting rebooted. Yes, not the movie, the TV show. So when I heard about it, I was like, oh, well. I was like, okay, the movie was cool. The old series was amazing. A reboot, I probably didn't get away with it, but it won't be like the original, obviously. But then I heard just today that they're gonna be mixing the team up. So you're gonna have the original characters, but they're gonna be they're gonna be basically female, so they're gonna be guys and girls. I'm like, well, you sort of just messed up the whole thing. It's like I don't. It's like the Ghostbuster reboot. They're all women. I'm like, come on, man. That's just poor. Boo. That's just destroying a classic. But yeah, so an X-Men TV series is getting remade, guys. Sorry, an A-Team TV series is actually getting remade. So watch out for that. Again, some more news for all you 90s cartoon freaks. Nickelodeon says they're bringing back classic 90s shows this October. So Nickelodeon has announced a new line of programming which will have kids rejoicing. The Splat, a new multi-section content destination on TV, social media platforms, and its own website will feature all of Nickelodeon's best programming from the 90s, including Hey Arnold, Keenan and Kel, and Rugrats. The programming will immerse viewers into a retro view experience with classic programming stunts like Nick or Treat, You Pick, and Super Toy Run. There will be recreations of the original programming from the days they aired, and original promos and instills such as Do Whoop Dinosaurs and the Oprah Lady. This programming will consist of an hour rotation TV lineup airing daily from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Wow. On Splat.com. Sorry, from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. So Splat.com will relaunch as a fan-driven site built around social media conversations featuring all new emoji keyboard will Splat branded emojis, stickers, and GIFs as previewed below, and you can check that on the comicbookresources.com website. So for all you 90s babies freaks, looks like you guys are gonna have a lot of TV on your hands. Next, some Wesley Snipes news. Oh yes, Snipes is back. Well, he's actually back because just yesterday he premiered in the all-new TV show The Player, which I still haven't watched yet because I need to watch it because I'll be looking forward to the show. So that aired yesterday. Also, Heroes aired yesterday as well. I need to watch that as well. From what I was hearing, Heroes is a 2-hour pilot, so I'll be definitely watching that after this podcast is done. So can't wait. But yeah, so we've all heard basically Wesley Snipes talking about rumors. He's having talks of Marvel regarding Blade, regarding maybe a new Marvel character that cases will basically toe to toe with Blade. But he had more conversations, and this is what he said. Says Blade star Wesley Snipes offered an update on the status of his talks with Marvel to revive the character, saying things are going well. There's always a possibility, you know. It's in Marvel's hands. They're controlling the pace, the flow. With that, conversations have been good. They see the vote in it. We see the value in it. Snipes told the Faggleton Post, "I'm still in shape enough and fit to handle the role. We'll see how it goes. I don't really know what's going to happen to it yet." Snipes also entertained the thought of Blade interacting with Avengers, and that would be interesting. I mean, I know it's in the comic book. It would be interesting to see where they would place him and where he would fit in. He said he's got to bite somebody. I don't know who he's going to bite. That'd be interesting. What Avenger would he bite? Bite Black Widow. We also have, for all you Angry Bird fans that have been battering the game, been playing the game so much. I remember when it first came out, I used to play all the time. I just stopped. You know, now I've got my iPhone. I just don't really play any games on there. I just don't even. I use Instagram, Twitter to find out what's going on in the geeky, nerdy world of comics, movies, and so forth. But don't really play any games on there. But yeah, Angry Birds has officially been made into a movie now. And I know years ago they said they were looking to put the movie into production. I was like, okay, maybe I thought they wouldn't do it. But they have. So the trailer officially came out 2 days ago. So if you go on YouTube and type in, Angry Birds trailer or Angry Birds, you'll see the trailer. It looks funny. It looks angry, humorous. It has all the characters from the game, even the big pigs. So please check it out and see what you guys think about it. So basically, guys, that is for me. That is pretty much what's been happening in the um, in the oopsie in this week. So it's been a very, very kind of slow week, really, regarding the comic book. This week's news has been a bit slow. Right, excuse me, guys, as my throat is literally is dying. First, let me just indulge myself in some GH35 water. Ah, that was so good. Nothing like fresh water to give you a bit of energy. So, going back to this week's comic books that I picked up. Didn't really pick up a lot of comic books. Just the fact that there wasn't really anything interesting. There wasn't really anything to get. Well, I seem to be missing a comic book. Wow. I hate when this happens, you know. There we go. No. Wow. Okay. I seem to be missing one of my books, which I literally just had like a few minutes ago. Literally on my pile, and it's just decided to just wait, disappear. So I got it. Damn, the front cover fooled me. So I picked up just a few comic books. Just a few, guys. So picked up. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4 books. So first one. This is this is issue 2. So this one here, Deadpool versus Thanos. It's pretty funny because the front cover, and it's hilarious because you know Thanos is just he's a beast and a mad titan. He can breathe in space regardless. So in the front cover, he's in a spacesuit, and there's he's holding like a sign that says, "Why do I need a spacesuit, Thanos?" Which is hilarious. And then you've got Deadpool with a helmet on his head, and there's fish flying around. One of the fishes looks like one of the fishes is actually the Silver Surfer. The other fish is it's like a Nova Corp, and it says there are fish in my helmet. So, Deadpool versus Thanos issue 2. Writer Tim, the writer is Tim Seeley. You have Tim Seeley is the writer. Elmo Boondock is the artist. Ruth Redmond is the colorist. Joe Sabio is the letterer. Trad Moore and Matt Wilson did the cover. Have done the cover. The covers. Assistant director Heather Antos. Jordan D.Y. editor. Axel Alonso, editor-in-chief. Joe Quesada, chief creative officer. Dan Buckley, publisher. Alan Finn, executive producer. So this was a very, 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 very very funny, darkish book. You know, as in the last episode, we basically find out that Death, who is Thanos' love, but then she loves Deadpool, has been kidnapped. So Thanos, instead of killing Deadpool, he teams up with him to try and find her. So this whole book is basically about them in their efforts and journeys trying to get clues and find out what literally happened to their love. And throughout the book, there's a lot of banter and a lot of fighting between Thanos and Deadpool, because Thanos just despises him. I mean, he just does not like the guy. And Deadpool was like, oh, okay, it's not my fault she likes me, you know. But it's very humorous. It's very bloody. The dialogue is very funny. You see a very kind of like a different side to Thanos. He's more of like a love-struck puppy in a sense. Um, but what's really epic, what's really good about the storyline is um, the Death being she's been in the last episode issue. You find out she's been kidnapped. You find out the ramifications and what's happened to the universe since she's actually been taken. She's been kidnapped. So you find out what's happening to what the ramifications and the problems that has caused the whole universe. Regarding her capture. So it's very grim for it's very grim for everybody in the Marvel universe right now because things are going totally crazy since she's been taken away. Also, it's very humorous to see basically how Death is and how she's portrayed, and also to see basically how the characters being Deadpool and Thanos actually how they go on about and how they think about her and what she means to them, because you never really see a backstory for Death or how she affects characters apart from obviously from Thanos, because he's the one that can pretty much see her in a sense. So but yeah, the whole book is pretty much them trying to suss out what's happened to her, how to get her back, and how to just stop the madness that's happening to the universe. So it's pretty hilarious. It's pretty dark. I think this issue is actually very dark compared to the last issue. The last issue had more comedy, humor. It actually has more guts, violence. It's very cool. I do like the way it's written. The artwork is pretty cool. And it's Deadpool, guys. So it's like, I mean, regardless of the situation, Deadpool is he basically is, he's the merc of he's the merc of the mouth, So you always get entertained when you read a Deadpool comic because he's just entertaining as a character. So it's pretty hilarious, pretty funny. I just got it because I thought to be just Deadpool versus Thanos, and I thought, but Thanos will kill him, it's Thanos. But then when I learned what the story was about, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll be definitely getting the next issue. But it's a pretty cool book. It's only going to go for, I believe, maybe 5 issues as part of it's probably like a 5-issue series. So give it a go, guys. Let me know what you people think about it. The next one is there we go, from DC Comics. Now, I know it's funny the way I picked this comic book up is I didn't know anything about it. I went into Forbidden Planet. A friend of mine that works there says you need to get this. When I looked at it, I was like, okay, what's this? Scooby-Doo teams up, featuring the Gotham Girl. And he was like, we only got 20 copies. It's blown up. It's sold out everywhere. And I was like, okay. But I realized it's actually the first appearance of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. And it's like a $3 comic book. And I checked on eBay. I saw it going for like £24, £30, £15 and so forth. I was like, wow, okay, cool. Picked it up. Just finished reading it just about 45 minutes ago. It's actually very entertaining. I mean, everyone's basically seen Scooby-Doo once in a lifetime, so they know what if you're buying a Scooby-Doo comic book, you pretty much know what's going on. So I won't go into too much about it. But so this is Scooby-Doo issue 12, DC Comics. Scooby-Doo team up featuring the Gotham Girls being Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. So so the writer is Shirley Fitch, artist Dario Bruzilla, colorist Franco Risco, letterer Sadie Tenfonti, cover artist Dario Bruzel with Franco Ricasso, assistant editor David Pina, editor Kirsty Quinn, and it's Harley Quinn created by Paul Dina and Bruce Timm. So basically, guys, it's just it's a very, very simple concept. So you see the Scooby Gang on top of a building with a bat, and the bat signal goes off. They go there thinking it's Batman, asking them for help, and then they bump into Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, who want them to help him take care of a ghost that they believe that's haunting them in their house. So they go into work, and it's just basically it's funny. It's just like you're watching a Scooby Doo episode. There's comedy, there's action. You got Shaggy running away, scared. Scooby scared. They're trying to figure out who it is, who done it, how they done it, why they done it. It's funny because there's a mysterious there's a nice cameo by a certain by one Marvel one DC villain who makes their way into this book, and you have another DC superhero, should I say quote unquote vigilante, that comes in and makes their appearance in there. But overall, it's very fun. It's very humorous. The colors, the way that it's been colored in and drawn, is how you would expect a Scooby-Doo comic book to be, and also you'd also expect to see what you see in this book here is what you'd see in the TV show. A lot of punchlines, a lot of humor. It's a very, very light-hearted book for DC, which is cool because most of the DC stuff is pretty dark. It's very lightweight. It's very humorous. It's very funny. Like I said, I only got it because I was recommended it from my friend. He was like, "You have to get this book because it's sold out everywhere." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I have a collector's in my collection, which is pretty cool. So I'm happy to have that in my collection. But overall, guys, honestly, it's a Scooby-Doo comic book. So you like it regardless. It's funny, it's humorous, like I said. Pick it up. The writer does not have to actually. The way he's written it is the way he does the interaction between the characters is very on point, just how you expect it to be in the TV shows. So it's pretty cool. I love the way he makes them interact with each other. The punchlines, the catchphrases, just like exactly as it is in the TV shows, cartoons. So again, that's Scooby-Doo issue 12. Featuring the Gotham Girls. Alright. The next one. Oh, my throat. The next one is basically Shield. This is the 50th anniversary, again with another story. This one is based on Nicholas Joseph Fury Jr. Just a little overall about Nick Fury. So status: Nick Fury Jr. was trained as an Army Ranger, and his years of active duty service under his belt. He's experienced in SHIELD, field ops, and even had a stint as a secret Avenger. He's much more than his father's son. Fury is a force to be reckoned with in his own right. So, David. So the writer for this is David F. Walker. The artist is Lee Ferguson, colorist Jason Keith, letterer Clayton Cowles, production Carlos Lau, cover artist Mike Diato, and Jordan Boyd. And I love Diato's artwork. His artwork's amazing. The variant cover artists for this book: Christian Ward, John Tyler Christopher, editor Joan Molson, Chief Editor-in-Chief Axel Alonso, Chief Creative Officer Joe Cosida, and the publisher is Dan Buckley, and executive producer is Alan Finn. So this book, when I started reading it, I was like, this is a bit slow. And when it finally kicked off, I was like, whoa, it was a very, very deep book. So this book basically this book is pretty cool because you get to see two of the most talked about characters, being Nick Fury and Nick Fury Sr. come together in one book, which is amazing. And I won't tell you how, what, and why, but it's amazing to see these two characters interact with each other for the book and how they work together as, you know, as a team, or should I say father and son. It's very dark, it's very intense, and what makes this book very, very intense and very, very, very real is it's dealing with racism, and I was like, whoa, you know, Marvel have really hit hard with this book, because it involves literally around race wars, and to see someone like Nick Fury and Nick Fury Jr. in this book, and to see how they react with issues regarding race is like, it's amazing. So it's very well written, very well drawn. It's very dark, but it's very interesting at the same time. You know, you tend to see in the book a lot of punchlines. You know, you still get to see the jokes and jabs from both Furies. It's really cool to see them actually working as a team and how they work with each other. The way the story prolongs is very, very progressive. It's very, very dark. It's a very, very dark story. But I'm glad they put it in, because when I was reading it, I was like, whoa, man, like this is deep. So it's a very, very good read. I love the way it's drawn. It does really capture the moment. The way the artist has put the art into it, you really do feel that you're actually in that zone or in that period with issues regarding race. And the fight scenes are amazing. To see someone like Nick Fury Jr. go in, the way he fights, you can see that he's a very, very powerful person. Very, 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 very powerful person. And I just loved it. I loved the way the fight scenes were drawn. The shading, the dark tones of colors, and the dialogue between all the characters in the book, even the villains, the SHIELD agents, Nick Fury Jr. I really do recommend it, because it does have it is based on, you know, real events, which is obviously race wars, which is still happening to this day, and to see what they would do to stop that from happening, and to deal with it, it's pretty amazing. So a big thank you to Marvel Comics, and you know, for David Walker, the writer, and the artist Lee Ferguson, for actually putting this into stone, because it's a testimony to see what's happening in the world, and it's a very, very, very realistic, very good book. So again, that's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Issue 1, part of the 50th S.H.I.E.L.D. anniversary variants. I actually got the Fitzsimmons variant, which is pretty cool. So it has the action figure variants of Fitzsimmons. So it literally has Fitzsimmons literally next to each other, and it has the ID cards next to them, which is pretty cool. And it has Deathlock's leg in there. Fitz, Leo, and Simmons Gemma. Right, guys. The next issue I was looking is my next book that I'm going to review, which will be my last book to review. Now, I was annoyed, right, because this book actually came out a week ago. Because of the UK times, obviously the UK is so delayed and everything. It came out in the States, but then I had to wait this week to buy it. So I was like, no, because, you know, now they tend to they put out the spoilers and stuff. I was like, oh man, don't do this to me. So I was happy to get it. So again, this is one of my favorite comic books, and I have to buy it because I love the TV show. The Blacklist, written by Nicole Phillips, artist Bernie Lobel, colorist Ishtar Sands, letterer Annie Parkhouse, editor David Leitch, designer Russell Seal and Rob Farmer. The covers are by Benny Lobel and Ishtar Sands, and the variant cover that I got was just the photo variant cover, which is pretty cool. So for the first, so this is issue 3. So for the first 3 issues, they've been doing like photo variants covers, and this is cool because it has the newspaper The cover is basically, you have the image of the wanted poster of Raymond Reddington, which you saw basically in the first episode of season 1 and the last episode of season 2, and on it says you have Elizabeth Keene's ID badge, who isn't part of the FBI anymore, but well, in the series she ain't, but in the comic she is, and you see her gun is there. So it's pretty cool. This is also distributed, so I've got to say, by Titan Comics. Again, the last episode we left pretty much with a very, very shocking cliffhanger, and that was basically Raymond Reddington being blown up next to a bunch of cannons, which leaves our friend Elizabeth Keene basically very heart-stricken, very worried, very guilty, as she seems to think she could have basically helped him before this happened. This issue, how can I say, man? This issue is amazing. Like, all the issues I've read have been amazing regarding the Blacklist. So Nicole Phillips is actually one of the script writers for the Blacklist TV show. So what you see in this issue, what you see in the issues, is what you see in the books. It was amazing. It's an amazing book. You kind of find out you find out what the gambler's the gambler's intentions are really about, why he's doing what he's doing, and how he's doing it. It's pretty damn cool, man. The way it starts off very slow, it kicks in. There's action, there's drama, there's blood, there's guts, there's catchphrases, there's slogans. It's just amazing, man. I mean, if you watch the Blacklist show, right, you know what I'm talking about. I advise everyone that watches that is a Blacklist fan to buy this book, just to the fact that it's an amazing read. And if you're not a Blacklist fan, then get it, because the way it's written, the commentary, the dialogue is amazing. You know, the dialogue between Raymond Reddington and Elizabeth Keene is amazing. The dialogue in general that comes out of Red's mouth in his book is amazing. You really do find out the capabilities of what Raymond Reddington is capable of doing in this. How sneaky, how sly, how he's a mastermind, how and why they're calling the concierge a crime. It's very, very. This issue is very, very, very dark, very intense, with a touch of humor. But what I love about this book, and it's like the TV show, right? You always get put into the unexpected, of where there's twists and turns. This book will leave you asking more questions than finding answers, which is why I love the TV show. And the way Nicole Phillips writes this is exactly that. Just like in the TV show, the Blacklist is a show that makes you think. It's amazing. It's beautiful. The way this is written, like in the book, this comic book here, issue 3, it's pretty cool. Some of the fight scenes you see, someone's head getting pretty much destroyed, blown up with a shotgun. The dialogue is just amazing. Like the way she writes the characters, it's just so beautiful. Just like you would expect it to basically be in the TV show. So can I say, guys, man? I mean, I love it. And what I loved about this also, got to see Dembe again. So Dembe's in the TV show. He started off as just a small character, Raymond Reddington's left-hand man. But then basically he grew. He grew and grew and grew. Got more lines, more scenes. So it's nice to see him in this book. Pretty cool. Loved it. Again, the Blacklist will be the Blacklist season 3 will start from October the 1st, which is this month. So be prepared, guys, for more twists and turns and more catchphrases and slogans from the man himself, Raymond Reddington, the concierge of crime. And I love near the end of the book, you get to see a big flashback, which really made me laugh. So it was pretty cool to see what a certain character used to do in his younger days. But yeah, that is for me, guys. That is a Blacklist issue 3. Recommend you to get it, read it, write it. Yeah, write it, man. Write everything out. Write your own version of the Blacklist. I'm not joking. It's an amazing read, man. I love the Blacklist. I'm so happy that when it was announced they were doing a Blacklist comic book, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely getting this book. So yeah. So with that being said, guys. Oh, one thing. Go back to Blacklist. Yeah, I can't stress it enough. The way Nicole Phillips writes the book, so cool, man. Smooth, intense. She knows when to say the right things, do the right things, when to intensify the flow, drop the pace. You know, it's like you're watching a car chase scene where it takes you up and down, left and right. Just when you think the car's about to crash, it doesn't. Then it does. Then it doesn't. So yeah, big shout out to Nicole Phillips. I'll be definitely getting issue 4. I know the issues of the Blacklist. Can't wait to see if she puts in the characters being the the alchemist, the courier, and the stew maker. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch season 1, guys. It is crazy. Watch it. Cool. Right, guys. That's it. That's pretty much it for me. Tune into next week's episode. The 2 British Nerds. Well, we'll be going back and into the future. I'm not joking. I'll be bringing you some of the coolest, some of the coolest weekly news, comic book news, gossip, whatever it is. Please tune in. Again, please check me out on Instagram at 2 British Nerds, Twitter at 2 British Nerds, and my personal Twitter is at CAVADJ. But if you're on Instagram, hit me up. I tend to spend more time on Instagram than on Twitter, I guess, because it's just everyone's always up and about and talking, and I love to just get interactive with all the people, all the fans. So hit me up on there. Mention me. Anything that you think is cool, anything you want me to talk about, hit me up on the Twitter, or just send me an email to 2BritishNerds@gmail.com. We'll get back to you if you want to be a ghost. I was going to say, if you want to basically be a guest, if you have questions, if you want anything, if you want us to speak about anything, if you have feedback about this podcast, about anything, just let us know. If you just want to say hi, hit me up on there, hit us up and let us know what's going on, people. So yeah, man, check out the Instagram page again and say hello to people. So that being said, peace, love, enjoy your morning, day, your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out and one love, man. Peace.